Hello, algebra students. I know we don't usually have videos on Wednesdays, but I thought this really short video might help you today before you do your formative. Today we're going to be talking about, instead of just you doing the graphs from an equation, looking at a graph and recognizing what kind of slope you have. Is it a positive slope or a negative slope? What kind of y-intercept you have, positive or negative? So you'd be able to identify what kind of information you would need in your graph. So on the next slide, I'm going to have these exact same graphs, but I want to be able to talk about this. On each of these graphs, you should be able to decide by yourself right now if the slope is positive or negative, and if the y-intercept is positive or negative. Is it starting above the origin or below the origin? So for instance, on this first graph, I know that my slope is negative because it's going downhill. I know that the y-intercept is going to be positive because it's above the origin. That's the kind of thing that we're going to be doing. Now, when we look at those same four graphs, I have 6 different equations here. So we're going to use all 6 equations, but we may not have 2 answers for each of them. There's going to be more than one answer on some of them. So this is not meant to be like an accurate equation. I'm just looking at, can you recognize if it's going to be a positive slope or a negative slope, positive y-intercept or negative y-intercept? So we said on this very first one that this has a negative slope because it's going downhill, and it's got a positive y-intercept. So looking at these 6 options, I need the ones with a negative slope. So for right now, not that we're going to leave it like this, I'm going to cross out the ones that have a positive slope. Those 3 all have positive slopes. Now I want the ones that have a negative slope that also have a positive y-intercept. So this one has a positive y-intercept. This one also has a positive y-intercept. Again, I'm not saying that those are the right equations. I'm just saying that those would be options that we could use. Since we only have one that's not crossed off that has a negative slope, let's look at the other graph that has a negative slope, which is this one. Negative slope and a negative y-intercept. So in fact, this is the only one that's going to work for that. Okay. Now, the 3 equations that we have left all had positive slopes. And hopefully you can recognize the 2 graphs in the middle. Both have positive slopes. The first one that I've got right here, this is a negative y-intercept. So the slope is going to be positive. The y-intercept is going to be negative. So looking at these equations, positive slope for all of them, negative y-intercept, that could be this one, or it could also be this one. And then the last graph has a positive slope and a positive y-intercept. That's the only equation that would make sense with that. Your formative today is going to be like this kind of a problem, where you might have more than one answer that could work, but you're looking at positives and negatives more than the actual values of the numbers. If you have any questions, let me know. Good luck on the formative.